Welcome to the third part in the SQL tutorial series done by Kel here from Lacking Adventure. And on this particular part we're going to be going over insert statements. And it's basically how we're going to add records, or known as rows, or however you want to use the terminology, into the tables themselves inside your database. So I'm going to go back to the one I was using in the previous video, where we've got our group of table and our table names. So our group of names really. And if we wanted to add a new one in, there's the insert statement. Now if you notice in the Management Studio here, every time it turns blue, it's basically a command, a static command that SQL recognizes. And if you have this teal or greenish tinge one here, it's basically either going to be a column or a table name of some kind. This is another this wild card is basically another symbol. You also look like commas, and any other punctuation will also look like that. And if you're using like a string, like a name, it's going to come up red. Okay, so it's going to look sort of like that. Just easier to tell it apart. So basically when we're going to insert, I'm going to say it again, say it kind of like you would in English. Well, what are you doing? I'm going to insert. Okay, what are you going to insert? Well, I'm going to insert into something. Well, I'm going to insert into the table. Okay, what are you going to insert into it? Well, some values are going to go into it. And basically from there, the values are going to go is your data, essentially. So for the table, we're going to go ahead and put in the table names. Okay, and our values. So for this particular example, our table names down here has an ID, a name, so let's just write this in here, a name, an address, a phone, and an email. Okay, now of course these are not actual values or strings or anything we can pass in, so it's going to fail. Invalid column name, whatever. So when it comes for the ID, this is going to be our main key. So the way we set it up the table originally, and I'll show you how to do that in a later video, but when we set this up, we set it up to be an identity, and basically it's going to fill it out for us, so we don't even need to fill this in. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. So for the name, we're going to come up with a name. We're going to input Sally, and she lives on 12 Front Street, and here's her phone number. And I'm obviously just making this up. I don't know if that's right enough numbers. And I don't know. Let's do some. There you go. There's an email. So basically what we did here is for every column along the row, there's 4 of them, we're adding in 4 distinct values. Okay, separated by a comma, and that'll be, it's all wrapped around this value statement. So if we go ahead and hit execute, okay, now if we go ahead and highlight this guy and execute, hey, look at Sally's there. So if we run this by itself again, we'll get 2 versions of it. We'll actually get another one. So if we highlight and execute, see 1 row affected, and Sally will show up twice. Look at that. So that's basically the gist of insert statements. There's really not much to it. So it's essentially insert into a table with values, and you place your values. You got to have the right amount of columns for every single one you're going to put in. So if I remove this guy and try to insert it again, it'll fail because it does not match the table. So in order to see what exactly is on there, you can either do a select star on the table you're going to insert to, to see exactly what's in it. Or, if you're using the Management Studio, you can go over here into the Solution Explorer or Object Explorer, and then hit this little plus sign next to it. And you'll see columns. Hit the plus sign there. And these are your columns. Now, it doesn't actually show if this is a key or an identity or anything like that, but that should be that'll be easy enough to find out later. So, but this will tell you exactly what kind of columns you're looking at and which ones you're going to need and their types. So, anyways, that about wraps it up for insert statements. And if you have any questions, you can give me an email. It's in the description. And see you next time.